Nobody can replicate us 100%. So when you decide to be you, you decide to bring something into this world that's completely different than anybody else, anything anybody else has brought into this world.
This is Entrepreneurs the Playbook, where I give you access each week to the world's greatest athletes and executives about their personal and professional playbook and what has made them champions on and off the field. This is the Playbook. We're going to do the first live podcast that I have called The Playbook for Entrepreneur,
Nice.
Entrepreneur Magazine, and no better place to start than one of the greatest running backs of all time. No doubt, right?
I don't know about that.
And I'm extremely grateful. I was telling him that I had on my podcast the other day a guy on the NFL Network that works with Reggie, Akbar Biazabab. And I was so glad that we have Reggie Bush. How easy is that? Welcome, Reggie Bush.
Thank you, appreciate it. Yeah, it's hard. His last name is hard to pronounce.
Oh, God, your name's so easy. It's amazing. Anyway, we'll get started real early. The idea of the Playbook is that instead of asking your typical football questions, which after the podcast, everyone will get an opportunity to ask whatever question you want of Reggie. And he's been kind enough to say nothing's out of bounds, but I'll be aware of that. We'll see.
I've heard it all.
I know you're faster than me. Usually I can run scared faster than most people, but I doubt it. I've seen you turn the corner. I ran a sports agency called Leigh Steinberg Sports and Entertainment.
Yep.
Probably one of the most notable sports agencies. And we were recruiting you.
Yep.
And
Yeah, I remember.
it was an amazing thing. Yeah, we were relentless. Reggie, talk about the Playbook, because obviously there's a big step when you come out of USC.
Yeah.
And you were the guy. Tell everyone that playbook of how and what it feels like with all the pressure to be coming into that draft as a Heisman Trophy winner, et cetera.
It was a lot of pressure. I think I did as good of a job as you can possibly do with it, with all the pressure mounting. I think my situation was extremely unique because I got drafted to New Orleans, which was 6 months after Hurricane Katrina. Going into the situation like that where the whole city was devastated and just about everybody within the U.S. was affected somehow, some way by that tragedy. And I'll never forget, when I got drafted, I flew down there and they took me on a tour of the city to see the Ninth Ward and all the devastation that happened. And there was still, you could see the line from the level of how high the water went up to some houses. There was spray paint of the numbers of bodies that was found in the houses. And it was pretty much a ghost town, So for me, going into that situation, I don't know if that ever happened again. Let's hope it doesn't. But it was a lot of pressure going into a city that had suffered something like that, and then also going into a team that hadn't won in a long time. There was a lot of pressure, to go in and win right away. And thankfully, I had guys like Drew Brees, Coach Payton, had some veteran guys who had been in the league for a while, Deuce McAllister, Joe Horn, guys that I looked up to, and it really helped me to transition, into the NFL, into life in the NFL, which is a whole nother story. So it was tough. There was a lot of pressure, but the city welcomed me with open arms. I'll never forget the very first restaurant I went to was you guys know who Emeril Lagasse is? He's a great chef. One of my good friends to this day, and I didn't know who he was. I had never really been in the South, so this was my first introduction into the South. Seeing all this, I was blown away. I didn't know what to do or really how to react. Because I was filled with tons of different emotions. I was excited. I was nervous. I was scared. I was confused a little bit as to how we were going to even play football, in the city. So I remember going back to the story, walking into Chef Emeril's restaurant, and the whole restaurant stood up and applauded. And so for me, that very first introduction into New Orleans really kind of put me at ease, put my emotions, kind of at ease, and really helped me to just be motivated on a daily basis to go out there and to hopefully at some point bring a Super Bowl, which is what we did in 2009.
Yeah, that was awesome. And, I teach people, everyone should have 3 mentors at all time in their lives.
Yeah.
And you've been surrounded by, you mentioned some in New Orleans, but
Yeah.
before you were drafted, I remember, I was good friends with LT, and LT took you out for a workout.
He did.
And at that time, you were
was
young and a little arrent with your athletic skills.
I was going into my junior year
Oh, no.
in college. I just finished my sophomore year. I was going to be a junior, and so not to cut you off,
Go
sorry,
ahead.
but so I grew up in San Diego, and born and raised, and I got tons of awards every year. LaDainian was always one of the honorary athletes that would show up to these, high school events, which, at the time, I was just excited to be able to meet LaDainian. I grew up there. I was huge fans of guys like him, Junior Seau, watching those guys. But so he would always show up. He was always an honorary, athlete, celebrity athlete to come, hand out the awards, and he would always show up every year, every time he would show up, And so that, for me, that spoke volumes because he didn't have to be there. He didn't have to donate his time. I'm sure he was extremely busy. So for him to be there, it really meant a lot to me. So I actually got a chance to meet him when I was, a freshman, sophomore in high school. So I had known him for a long time. And then the famous workout he's talking about is he basically just kicked my ass. I thought I was in good shape. I thought I was ready. And, he showed me something that I had never seen before. He took it to another level. I'll never forget, he's on, so there was 2 treadmills next to each other. And this was the end of the workout. I was already dead tired. I was already, just about ready to die. And he's on the treadmill, running full speed. And I'm just like, like I can barely keep up. And, so for me, just to see the work ethic of one of the great ones of LaDainian Tomlinson, that really put things in perspective for me and helped me to go on to the next year and to be able to win the Heisman.
Yeah, it's one of his favorite stories.
Yeah,
I
threw up. I threw up in that workout.
Yeah, you threw up after dinner. And now Junior was also close to both of us.
Yeah.
And the Seau Foundation had a great influence on you, and
Yeah.
Junior did as well. And you're just lucky, unlike me. I played against Junior, so you were lucky not to, although you might have been faster than he
I
was.
played against him one year when he was in New England, but he didn't really play, though. He was over there, but I like to tell people I played against him, but I didn't really play.
I was in high school, so it's a little different. It's a
Yeah.
lot easier.
Yeah.
Anyway, growing up in San Diego, Alex Smith was your quarterback. You guys were incredible.
Yeah.
And another guy that I recruited, and then Matt Leinart, obviously, Castle. You played with all of them.
Yeah.
Out of those 3 guys, who did you think would end up still playing, and why?
Well, I thought Matt Leinart would be the one to, be playing the longest, just because, I played with him in the college level. I know what he was capable of doing. And I knew he had everything, needed to be a leader, to be a great competitor, to be a great quarterback in the NFL. And obviously it didn't work out that way. And I was a little surprised. I'm still shocked to this day. Matt Castle, who was a backup for us, my whole career in college, I never saw him step foot on the field, is still in the NFL to this day, which is crazy. But it just goes to show you, man, God always, I truly believe there's things that just happen because God has a plan, for everybody in this room. And for example, I truly believe that team that was put together in New Orleans was that was meant to be. That was truly meant to happen. It was meant to be. And that was a work of God. And that was completely, because I was actually supposed to go to the Houston Texans that year. And they ended up passing up on me and going and picking Mario Williams. But it was every NFL team was so sold that I was going to Houston that nobody else interviewed me. No other team interviewed me. The only team that interviewed me was Houston. They're the only team that brought me in to the facility to take a tour of the city. I started looking for homes, and then, that happened. So, and if that would have never happened, we might be talking about a different story here, which, I don't know how that would have gone. So.
Yeah, I think, that faith that you have and gratitude that you have, not everything works out for everyone. One of the things I learned as a sports agent, there's a lot of different variables involved. Yeah. And the one thing that I believe in is consistent, persistent pursuit of your potential. And Leigh and I, when we were talking about you, you obviously had all these challenges. I personally think sometimes it's the lessons that you're supposed to learn.
Yeah. I
And,
agree.
we could see in baseball, football, certain guys get pointed out.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, as an agent, your difficult times in college were nothing more than I saw all the time.
Yeah.
Right? And sometimes
Yeah.
it's just easier to pick on the best guy. Of
course.
To send a message.
100%, yeah.
Right? And, and the government does it with taxes. Right? They'll pick on the most
Lord.
prominent guy and say, oh, this guy, insider trading. Why? Because if they can put that in the news,
Yeah.
it'll stop everything. Well,
Yeah.
what we liked about you is the resiliency of, that gratitude. Even though what other people would call bad luck,
Yeah.
you turned it around again and again and
Yeah.
again. And, to this day, there's certain guys that I think, your statue should easily be at USC. I'm not getting on a pulpit, but I mean, it's
Yeah.
just ridiculous to see O.J. Simpson's jersey in the end zone and not Reggie Bush's statue at USC.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank
And especially for what situation occurred.
Yeah.
At that age, though, you're 21 years old, and you have parents, you have Orny, you have all these guys around you. How did you handle that? And still to this day,
Yeah.
you have bitter feelings about it.
I truly believe that everything happens for a reason. I feel like there's a learning experience in everything that goes on, in our lives, especially for me anyways. I can't speak for everybody else, but I know for me, a lot of things that happen in my life, I truly believe that they have helped make me stronger to this day for whatever it is that's going to come down the road to be able to handle. So going back to, a lot of things that happened early on, at the college level, there were things that happened to me at the high school level, at the NFL level, all that, and I can sit here and tell you stories all day, about how, I was things that happened at USC with the Heisman Trophy, or whether it was a friend that stole money from me, or it was an agent or anything. There's so many different stories that I could talk to you about. And I feel like, it's cliche, but what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? And helps you to be able to prepare for whatever it is that's to come, because we never know, what's going to happen to us. Today, tomorrow, nothing is promised, nothing's guaranteed. But I truly believe that I'm still here for a reason.
Right on. and I believe that as well. Was there ever a time throughout all the challenges that you faced
Yeah.
that you've said, you know what, it's not worth it, I want to quit?
Like football?
Yeah,
No.
that's awesome.
No, I've never wanted to. I've never had. There was one experience that happened. So going back to when I got drafted, and again, like I said, I'd never been in the South before, so or let alone lived there. Maybe visited, but it was quick in and out. So when I got drafted to New Orleans, we had training camp in Jackson, Mississippi, and in July, Jackson, Mississippi is like, to me, it was as close as you can get to hell. Like, it was hot.
Still
hot,
is.
Like, the hottest you can possibly imagine is hot.
And humid.
And humid. And
It's not San Diego anymore, Dorothy.
No. You're not on the West Coast anymore. So, we had training camp there, and this was before the new CBA agreement, which is coaches could still have two-a-day practices and full pads. They basically try to run you into the ground till you cried uncle. And for me, that experience, having to go through that, practice twice a day, your body is just completely just depleted, nothing left. And so for me, there was one time where, I really contemplated, like, I don't know if football is really for me, because that training camp it killed me. But I stayed in it. I was able to bounce back, and it definitely made me stronger, for the years to come in the NFL. And now, the young guys coming into the league, they don't know what it's like to go through two-a-days anymore. So, they got it easy.
You're the
now,
old
man.
guy.
Yeah,
It's like,
it's
he was such
crazy.
a young guy,
Yeah,
and now
it's
you're
crazy.
the old guy.
I don't like to say
playing.
it, but yeah, it's crazy. Now I'm one of the old guys.
Well, it is. My business partner is Warren Moon. And
Yeah.
if you could hear him talk about the rule changes.
Oh, my God.
What he used to, they had 3-a-days.
Yeah.
Right?
I only had those once, 3
Yeah.
days, and I never ever want to experience that ever again. But yeah, that was 3 days are crazy. Like 3 days is like suicide. 2 days is like, okay, we're gonna kick your ass, but you still be able to live through it. Like 3 days, you're not living through that.
Yeah. Well, football's a brutal game.
Yeah.
and there's a lot of concern about health issues of playing. Right?
Yeah.
I played college football, not to the extent that you did, and you know, I have a lot of friends in the Hall of Fame that don't let their kids play Pop Warner, even high school football.
Yeah.
For you, is it a concern of yours to let your children, or would you let your children play tackle
It's definitely a
football?
concern for me because I know what I went through. I know how rough the game was on my body. I know all the different hits that I took, whether it was to the head, to the knees, to the chest, shoulders, back, kidneys, whatever it is. Those hits, for one, they hurt like hell, but for two is you just never know what are going to be the effects, 10, 20 years down the road. So I've torn my PCL, my left knee. I've torn my medial meniscus. I've torn my LCL. I had microfracture. What else? I've broken my right leg, broken my wrist. I mean, you name it, I've been through it. I don't know how many concussions.
Would you do it again if you had to, knowing what you know now?
I would 100% do it again.
That's what I like to hear.
Because I was so passionate about the game. I loved it too much. Listen, at the Pop Warner level, at the high school level, we're still, hitting full speed, and so early on, what the game is about. You learn really quick, whether you watch it on TV or you're a fan of it or whether you've played it, but early on what the game is about. So for me, I loved everything about it. I loved everything about the hits, the celebrations, the touchdowns. Getting the crowd fired up, running out with my teammates, the week of practice leading up to games with my teammates, the preparation, everything that goes into it. From a mental and physical standpoint, I loved it. So I would do it again, but I wouldn't be pushing my kids to play it. I want my kids to. They all have to golf for sure.
Yes,
that's
there's a San Diego
non-negotiable. They got to golf in my house.
In esports,
Yeah.
Would you encourage them to be an esport champ?
Yeah, esports is taking off, man, and I'm
is.
actually starting my own company focused in esports, which we can get to later on, but yeah, esports is really growing, it's taking off, and I love it, because I love video games. I've played them my whole life growing up, but I'll listen, whatever my kids want to do, I'll be there to support them. I just won't be pushing them towards football. And if they end up wanting to do it, then, I'll make sure that they know everything about this game that comes along with it. It's a grown man's sport, period, which I was telling the young guy back there. I don't know where he is. But, it's the thing that, I've learned and I've been able to see, the thing that separates the great ones from the guys who were in and out of the league, 2-3 years is it's work ethic. And it's that relentless pursuit to be great. And those are the things that when you show up the first year, right, and you're a rookie, you're all excited to be in the NFL, you can't wait to get to work. But when you get to year 4, 5, 6, when you're kind of setting in and it's like, damn, like I got to go to training camp, I got to, go to practice, after I just went through a full game of, getting beat up in car accidents, whatever you want to call it. So that's the thing that makes guys great. Guys like Drew Brees, guys that I've had the chance to play with and see the work ethic day in and day out. I mean, this guy would show up 5:30 in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning. Coaches weren't even in there yet, and I would purposely try to show up early as possible to see if I could beat him into the facility. And he was always already in there watching film. I would walk past the doors, go change in the locker room, and he's already in there watching film. So that's the thing that, obviously we see Drew, you see how great he is, on Sundays, but the things that we don't see, that people don't see is, how hard he works, and how much of a competitor that he is, or, how, great of a person he is off the field, So that's the things that, you kind of lose because, people only see us on Sundays, right? And, you don't know that, X, Y, and Z, the other things that fall in between that, that's led up to him to be able to lead his team to the fourth quarter, to be put in position to win the game in the playoffs, even though we lost. I don't want to talk about that game.
Yeah.
Man.
The Saints. Well,
oh my God, I'm still hurting from that game.
Yeah,
That was rough.
Speaking of which, what is your favorite moment in playing football? Your favorite game, favorite moment?
I'd say my favorite moment is being able to just host up that Super Bowl trophy. Knowing that it took us 4 years to get there. So my first year, we had a lot of success. My rookie year, 2006, we went 10-6, had the second seed going into the playoffs, all the way up into the NFC Championship game against Chicago Bears, and we lost. So for me, up until that point, I just assumed, this is always going to be like this.
Right.
Like, we're just always going to win. We're always going to be successful. And those next 2 years, I think we went 7-9 and 8-8. And that was a reality check because before that, I really hadn't lost. I had been successful all throughout college, Little League, high school, up until my rookie year. So I just assumed this is how it was going to be, wherever I was at. It didn't matter. So, I was humbled those next 2 years. And that's what football will do to you. It'll humble you really quick. So being able to host up that Super Bowl trophy and knowing what it meant for the city of New Orleans, for the people, for everything that they went through from Hurricane Katrina to losing businesses, homes, family members. It was such a special moment that I don't know if it'll ever be done again by any team ever. So we were just very honored to be able to bring that trophy home. I'll never forget just arriving back in New Orleans, the fans. Seeing Bourbon Street, literally just a sea of people for our Super Bowl parade. That's something that's special because we were the first team of the organization to win a Super Bowl. So, a lot of history with that Super Bowl for us.
Yeah, and Mr. Benson gave every single employee a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, that was cool too, man. That was really
special.
cool. Yeah, Mr. Benson is a great owner. Got a chance to spend a lot of time with him and his wife and his family, and they're really good people.
Excellent. Now, turn it around. What's your least favorite moment in a game?
Yeah.
Or what's your worst game that you played? Share that with us.
I've had a few bad games whether it was just like, the things that would really irritate me or really have me just in a bad mood for a week or for a couple of weeks was if I fumbled a football, if I did something that I felt like, affected the team negatively, during the game, which was dropping a pass or missing a block or, just little stuff like that. I would say my least favorite moment, there's been a couple, was probably, I would say it was probably the 2010, we had the number 3 seed going into the playoffs. We were 12-3, I think, or 12-4, something like that. And we had to play against the Seattle Seahawks. And they were 7-9 that year. And I don't know if you guys remember, that was the beast mode game where he broke that run and broke it seemed like 100 tackles. Like he's still running right now.
Right.
But, that was, I think because everything leading up to the game, we assume, and this is going into being humbled, we felt like they had no business being in the playoffs. They were 7-9. Their division was extremely weak that year. And we were like, these guys have no business being here. We're going to come in here and just slap them. Like, we're just going to beat the brakes off them. And, we got humbled really quick. From the start of that game to the end, they beat us in every phase. So that was probably one of my least favorite moments to think about.
Speaking of least favorite moments, what advice would you give Marcus Williams after that game?
Yeah. Marcus Williams is the guy who missed the tackle at the end of the Saints game. I'm sure you guys, he's going to be famous for that for a long time now.
But but he turned around the defense.
Yeah.
He's 21 years old. All of that's thrown away because he put his head down on one tackle
play.
And got unlucky too.
One play.
Right? He got unlucky.
Yeah.
But what advice would you give him?
Yeah.
Because he's under a lot of pressure right now.
Stay off social media for sure. Like, don't even go on social media.
Don't press send, right?
Don't go on social media for a while. But, listen, I saw his interviews after the game. He did a great job. He handled it well. I don't know if I've been able to handle it that well as he did in that given that situation. You dream of moments like that, right? To be able to have the game-winning play, since you're a little kid, and to be on the other side of it. I'm sure for him, listen, I don't know him personally. I got a chance to meet him recently, and he's played great all season long, which is crazy. Like he's played really well all season. He had an interception in the game as well.
Right. Yeah.
So, I would say for him, man, just to use it as fuel. Use it as fuel to come back bigger, stronger, faster, better the next season. Because, listen, it's already over with. I read something, I don't know how true it is, but I know Saints fans and I know how they are. But it said that, Saints fans, as soon as they landed, everybody was there, to cheer them on and applaud them as they landed back in New Orleans. And they were all there chanting his name in support. So that kind of stuff is really what.
That doesn't happen in New York.
Definitely not New York or Philly. It ain't happening over there.
There's an old saying about San Diego, which I loved.
Yeah.
We had a big baseball practice as well, and the guys from New York that got traded, the Padres lost the World Series, and the guy was amazed. I won't say the player's name. He's like, "Oh my God, I lost the World Series in New York. Nobody would look at me, right? They would throw batteries at me." He goes, "We lost the World Series in San Diego. They threw us a parade." Right? There's the difference between cities like San Diego and New Orleans.
There's a difference.
Another question. We talked about first in and last out. And I've been blessed to market the Pro Football Hall of Fame, represent Aikman, Moon, Young. Yeah. The quarterbacks that we had go endless at Leigh Steinberg. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But the two most talented quarterbacks we had was Jeff George and Ryan Leaf. Mm-hmm. And all Aikman, Moon, and Young will tell you, those guys could throw the ball, ridiculous. Yeah. But the difference between Hall of Famers are these personality characteristics that go beyond. There's so many talented guys in the league that never make it, are out in 2 years, or out in 10 or 11 years. But every Hall of Famer has certain characteristics. Yeah. What personality characteristics do you have that made you so? Because there's plenty of world-class fast guys. Yeah. Right? And I've watched you play football since high school. Yeah. But what makes the difference, you think, personality, and what advice, characteristic-wise, would you give to anybody, not just football, but in life? Yeah. Because one of the ones I give is be the first to show up. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And how many of those great guys are always the first to show up?
Yeah, I was just talking to my guy back there, and I was telling him that one of the things I learned very, very early at a young age was that talent is going to get you in the door, but your character is going to keep you in the room. And if you can really understand the meaning behind that, you can apply that to everywhere, anything. I don't care if it's football, if it's the business world, tech world, whether you're a fireman, police officer, whatever it is, that statement alone has so much power behind it. And, so for me, I was fortunate to be able to be surrounded by great coaches or other, really good players. And so I always wanted to, because at a very early age I knew I was exceptionally talented. But for me, I think I was such a fan of the sport and getting a chance to not only be surrounded by good coaches and players, but I really studied the game. I was a student of the game. So I watched guys like Deion Sanders, Barry Sanders, Junior Seau, obviously living in San Diego, that whole Chargers team that had a lot of success, in the mid-'90s. And I was also a 49ers fan, so at that time, they're also very good. Yeah. So for me, I learned very early at a young age that, listen, I was going to get to the next level no matter what it took to get there. I was going to outwork my opponent. I was going to be relentless in my pursuit to be great. I was going to show up every day. I was going to do the right things, say the right things. Now, I can't sit here and say I was perfect. Obviously, I made mistakes, and I, even to this day, I still make mistakes. But those failures and mistakes have helped me to be successful. I would actually look and point to those failures and those mistakes more than some of the other things to help me to get to where I was, to the next level. I failed a lot, in football, and those are the things that, obviously the famous quote by Michael Jordan is, I don't know however many shots he took, but however many he missed, comparing those two. And right. and listen, it's true though. It's the failures are the reasons why I've been successful. And I can truly, honestly, wholeheartedly say that, that's what's got me here. That's what helped me to be great on the football field. That's what helped me to be successful in the business world. And that's what's helped me to, in everything. So I try to apply it to everything, everything in life, So, like, for example, right now, I just started at NFL Network. I haven't signed a contract yet, but.
So you're working for free?
No, not working. No, did not say
that's
that. I'm not working
agent in
for
me.
free.
I'm sorry, man. I just want to make sure.
But so I'm working my way up. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I just started there this year. I've been in there, done the shows, for the last 5 years. But now it's official. I'm retired, so I'm going into the next phase of life, and which is going to be TV broadcasting, analyst stuff. So for me, I'm applying those same core values that helped me to be successful on the football field in the the media. So be the first one in there, show up, work hard. They ask me to can you come in these days. I'm basically saying yes to everything. Just showing up and just the relentless pursuit to just be great on TV and to articulate my thoughts well, which isn't always easy. But so I'm applying all those same things, to the business world, to the TV world, all that stuff.
Yeah, and it does translate over. I know we're going to open it up to questions as we end up the playbook from Entrepreneur here. You've created great legacy for yourself.
Yeah.
We're all
Appreciate it.
not perfect, but
Yeah.
what aggravates me most about being an agent is knowing guys like you that are of service. 11
Yeah.
years with St. Jude, created his own birthday foundation to give homeless kids birthday parties around the country.
Yeah.
Millions of dollars donated, not just in money, but in time. And, I've surrounded myself with people like you that don't say no.
Yeah.
The fact that you don't need to be here tonight. And, the things that you do and you help so many other people, that to me is what, inspires me to do this show, to let people know, what, these guys, it's not easy to be a public figure, especially with social media. And it's really easy to, I always say, and I started doing this about a year ago with Gary Vee, try having a camera following you around every day.
Yeah.
Thank God I have the power of what's edited or not on that camera because my career would be ended. And I think that any career would be ended with the type of scope and scale that's on them today. And, you should be applauded for what you do for others and recognized for it. And if everyone could give Reggie a great round of applause.
Thank you. I think to your point is, one of my favorite actors to follow is Denzel Washington. And, one of the things that he said recently, I'm always looking for new stuff to, new material, whatever it is to, keep me motivated. One of the things that he said that I truly believe is that, we all have we're all talented, we're all artistic in our own way. And when I was telling one of the young guys, where is he, by the way? Because I keep saying young guys.
DJ.
I don't know his name. Where is he?
DJ right
Okay,
here.
all right, there you go.
He's in the
DJ.
draft this year. Great DB.
But it's to, there were times in the NFL where, I would turn on ESPN and I would see Adrian Peterson, running guys over. So I would try to go do that the next week. I would try to go do what he did. I would try to go run guys over, but that wasn't me. That wasn't who I was. Now I could do it, but it wasn't what got me to this point, So I think there's something to be said for when you decide to be yourself, you bring something into this world that can't be replicated by anybody else because we are all artistic in our own way, shape, or form, and nobody can replicate us 100%. So when you decide to be you, you decide to bring something into this world that's completely different than anybody else, than anything anybody else has brought into this world. Right. And I think that's important. So going back to the point I was making about Denzel Washington, one of the things that he said was that he's in the service business, in the business of servicing and helping people. And I truly believe that that's important because, listen, the shoes, the money, the cars, the house, you can't take it with you, when you go to the next life. It's not coming with you. You're not going to see a U-Haul truck, going to a funeral. So, it's important to remember that because a lot of times we forget that. Sometimes I forget it because I remember when I was young, when I first got my check, I wanted a Ferrari or a Lamborghini and I thought that was going to be the thing to make me happy. I thought once I got this, okay, I'm good. Now this is. Now I don't need or I'm not going to want for anything else, you know what I mean? But it was so shallow. You know what I mean? And obviously that's a part of being young. You know, when you're 21 and 22 years old, you know, you think you know it all and you don't.
Exactly.
But, you know, I learned, just, through the years that, none of these materialistic things or none of the stuff that, was here today and gone tomorrow is going to truly make me happy. So finding the things that truly make me happy, helping, giving back. Like you said, we work with an organization called the Birthday Party Project, and they go around to, they're actually having one tonight. Obviously not going because I'm here, but so they go around to homeless shelters all around the U.S. and they throw birthday parties for homeless kids. Now, if you think about that, birthday parties, for kids are some of the biggest moments of their lives. So be able to give them birthday parties is pretty big. Now, another reason I do it is because my mom was raised in a homeless shelter. And she bounced around from different homes, so there's a little bit of significance to it for me. And then also with the St. Jude's thing that I've been part of St. Jude's, now 12, 13 years now. So I just love giving back to kids. I enjoy it because, for one, kids are extremely genuine. They have no filter. They'll ask you anything. But they're also the future, you know what I mean? So I don't believe you can have enough leaders and mentors in this world. So I just try to do my part by making sure I'm doing the things that are going to keep me happy, which is helping other people and giving back and being of service. So
Awesome.
that's it.
Another round of applause.
Football, it was a clarity for me because it wasn't more about the other guy. It was always about me. It was always about you need to do what you need to do. And it's great because I always believed in my heart that I was better than the guy I was going against. If I did my job, that other guy didn't have a chance.